Tell me what you want.
I think that is when breakthrough comes, when you are desperate and humble enough to admit you don't have the answers, but you know that God does. And you are willing to do whatever He says in order to receive the answers that you need. But don't make the same mistake that I have made so many times. God provides answers, but He is the ultimate answer. When I came across Fast Like a Girl and did the 30-day fasting reset, I felt like God had given me an answer to my prayer. Finding something that helped me maintain my weight that I could sustainably implement was an answer for me, an answer to a struggle that I had. But the moment that I put my trust in the fast and thought that that was all that I needed, that's when I lost sight of the answer. It's not more answers from God that we need, it is more of God. The more you get of God, the more you spend time with Him, the more of His word you get into you, you'll have the answers. Jesus didn't struggle with sin because He was completely dependent on God. He recognized that all of His power and everything that He was able to accomplish came from God. He didn't do anything that God didn't tell Him to do. So the more we become like Jesus, the less we will struggle with sin. So the ultimate goal, the ultimate answer is to become like Jesus and get more of Him in us. You can achieve all of your goals, but if you don't have the right character to maintain those goals, you're just going to lose them and end up right where you are again, just like I did. I can achieve weight loss goals, but because nothing in my heart and in my character is changing, my habits are staying the same, which are leading me back to where I started. So you want to go to God for what you need, but you also want to keep in mind it's not what He provides that we need, He is what we need. So we have two parts of the story. We know how to take care of the physical, and we know who to go to take care of the internal. But how do we achieve the breakthrough? And that is something that I have been asking God this week, hoping that He would give me some kind of answer that I could share with you so that we would know, okay, if we do A and B, we will get C. And I sensed God convicting me the other day that, April, I am not going to give you a formula to achieve closeness with me, to achieve a breakthrough from me. A formula does not require faith. So you will find nothing in my word and you will receive nothing from me that would eliminate faith from the equation. God is not going to give us an answer that makes Him unnecessary or makes faith in Him unnecessary. Life seems like it would be so much easier if we didn't have to put faith in things because we would know what to expect. We would know that if we did this and we did that, we will get this. That gives us the control. And while that does sound great, if you are in control of your life, then anything you achieve, you're going to have to do it again. The pressure is always on you to perform and create. But if God has the control and He is the one bringing breakthrough and empowering us to achieve things in our life, then when we need a breakthrough again, or we need to achieve a goal again, the pressure is not on us. Yes, we play a part, and there are going to be things that we do need to do, but the hard part is going to fall on God. What we have to do is learn how to wait on Him. God revealed to me this morning that I live my life the same way that I follow GPS. I have no sense of direction. I still get lost, even using the GPS, because sometimes I will type in my destination and the route that the GPS gives me doesn't seem right to me. I'm like, I am pretty sure that this other way is the right way to go. And so I'm going to go this way. Even though GPS is telling me go left, I am pretty sure that right is the direction. And I will go right and I will get lost. Thankfully, GPS still gets me to my destination because my ultimate desire and intention is to get to the destination that I put into the GPS. But I just end up getting there a lot later because I didn't trust the GPS, even though I went to it and put the destination in there because I believed that the GPS will get me where I want to go. Even in spite of all that, I still go my own way. So there's that. Or I will be following GPS and I have every intention of taking every turn that it tells me to take. But sometimes I get confused and it says to go right and I go right, but I go right at either a street too soon or one street after. And I still get lost and end up taking a detour. I still followed the GPS to the best of my ability, sometimes still taking wrong turns, but luckily, because I trust the GPS, it still gets me to where I need to go. And so it is with God. I really intend to go where He's trying to take me. Sometimes, though, I get confused about the direction, and sometimes, sometimes I don't trust Him. I feel like, no, this other way is really the right way to go. I feel so certain about it. But the reason why I always end up having or experiencing my breakthrough is because no matter how many times I deviate, the true intention of my heart is to follow God. Sometimes, yes, other things take the throne of my heart, but at the end of the day, having God on the throne of my heart is my true desire, and eventually He always ends up back there. And so I could tell you, do this, do that, be this way, be that way, and you'll get your breakthrough. But how many know that trying to complete a checklist can be so overwhelming? Sometimes I will read the Bible and think, oh my gosh, I need to be more loving. I need to be more patient. I need to be this. I need to be that. I need to do this. And then I just feel like, oh, I'm never going to be who I need to be. It's just too much. Where do I even begin? How do I remember to be all of these things? And then God takes a hold of my mind and reminds me, April, if you just spend time with me, you will become like me. And if you become like me, then you will just naturally start being more patient, more kind, more gentle, more giving, more gracious. You don't have to work at becoming these things. Instead, just spend time with me, get to know me, develop our relationship, because you will become like the one you spend the most time with. And I don't know about you, but spending time with God is so much easier and so much more enjoyable than trying to complete a checklist. And so He reminded me of that about a week ago. And so I got in my mind, okay, I'm just going to surround myself with the things of God. I'm going to get up. I'm going to have my quiet time in the morning. When I work out, I'm going to listen to pastors on YouTube, and I'm going to have pastors on while I'm working, and I'm going to listen to worship music when I wake up in the morning. And I'm just going to surround myself with the things of God. And that is not a bad thing, but the intention of my heart was not necessarily so that I could become more like Christ and restore closeness with God. I mean, that was the intention, but if I'm being honest, that wasn't the primary intention. I wanted my breakthrough. I wanted life to get easier, and I wanted it to become easy to make the choices that I needed to be making. I wanted to make those choices so that I could lose weight and feel comfortable in my body again. And none of that is bad. But if that is your if God is not your main pursuit, if becoming like Christ is not your main goal, again, you're going to struggle. And I did. This whole week, I was just thinking like, Lord, I'm doing A, B, and C. I'm sorry, I'm doing A and B. Why am I not getting C? And that is what he revealed to me when I was laying in bed last night, tossing and turning. He revealed to me that food and TV are idols, and that I was making my relationship with him a chore, a thing to do, something to check off my to-do list. So then what do I do, Lord? How do I get close to you again? How do I feel like we're so distant. No, I feel like I am so distant from you. I don't know how to remember to include you in my choices, to think of you throughout my day. I don't know how to get back into the habit of living life with you, because I feel like there's certain times where I'm like, okay, God, I want you in this part of my life. And then, okay, I'm going to go back to doing things on my own. I'll let you know when I want you back in my life. And I don't like that, but I don't know how to get out of it. So based on what I read this morning in my Bible, I believe that what I'm going to share with you are some things that will prepare us to receive our breakthrough. Now, this is not a formula. This is not if you do A, B, you will receive C, because we don't know when we'll receive our breakthrough from God or how we will receive it. We can only be sure that we will receive it. And I think that what he taught me this morning will help us to remain hopeful and confident so that we can receive from him. And so what I learned today comes from the book of Judges, chapter 16. It's the story of Samson and Delilah. And in verse 16, it says, she, Delilah, tormented him, Samson, with her nagging day after day until he was sick to death of it. Finally, Samson shared his secret with her. And in sharing his secret with her, he gave his strength away. How many of us do that? The enemy will torment and torment until finally we just can't take the pressure anymore and we give in. He doesn't take anything from us. He doesn't have to. He just has to apply enough pressure and we just give it to him. So the commentary in my Life Application Bible for the verses that I just read says, Samson was deceived because he was naive to Delilah's real motives in asking about the source of his strength. And I think that's the first thing we need to do. We need to, one, realize that we are struggling because somewhere along the line we were deceived. And then we need to identify the questions that the enemy is asking us that have been deceiving us. And if you're familiar with the Bible, sin first entered the world because the enemy asked Eve a question. Did God really say? And so what questions is the enemy asking you that seem innocent enough, but have led to you giving away your strength? For me, I hear questions like, what else can you achieve? How much more weight can you lose? What will it take to lose more weight? What websites can you go to? What fitness experts can you research? What books can you read? Don't you think you deserve to have this jar of peanut butter? Don't you think you can afford to eat this or eat that? And when are you ever going to spend time with your husband if you don't spend the evening watching TV with him? The two of you work all day. This is the only time you have together. If you don't spend it with him now, when will you ever spend time with him? And so I end up chasing after goals that God didn't set for me, and I pursue them in ways that God didn't plan for me to pursue them. I end up eating things in amounts that I shouldn't, and I end up staying on the couch, which leads to more eating when I really should be getting up and reading and getting ready for bed and reflecting on the day. How many times do we fall for the enemy's deceptions and then just think, I'll just do what I've always done to get myself out of this situation? I know for me, when I was in my 20s, I could drop weight like nothing if I just
for the love, 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 for the love.